Hello everyone. We're waiting just a couple of more minutes to see if anyone's going to attend, but we think we'll kick off now. So thank you all for joining today in our third instalment of the Tasting Australia Associated Event Holder webinars. For those I haven't met yet in person, I'm Madeline Burke. Today we're going to talk through a number of different event management topics, including I Want a Ticket, which is the ticketing website. Some of you may be familiar with this program, and for others it could be something quite new, so I thought it would be useful to talk through some of its functionalities and give you an overview of how you can use I Want a Ticket. It'll hopefully provide some of our new members of TA some useful advice and some good hints and tricks, and for those that have used it before, hopefully you find a good reminder of all the functionalities of I Want a Ticket. I briefly introduced myself at the start, but I also thought I would introduce a few others of the team members. So Megan Deere is the event manager of Tasting Australia. She isn't here in the room for us today, but I just thought I'd let you know that she's part of the tasting team as well. So just a bit of housekeeping. So as I mentioned, today we're going to talk through I Want a Ticket, the waitlist functionality, which is a new functionality of the Tasting Australia website this year. And then you'll hear a little bit from me again, touching on some of our partners for Tasting Australia this year and a few other reminders. Also, just a reminder, there is the question and answers box here on the webinar. So as I'm talking or if Paul's talking, please feel free to pop your question in there, and he and I will answer that either as we're talking or we'll get to it at the end. If I am talking through something, feel free, as I said, to ask questions, but this a reminder that the session is being recorded and I'm going to send this out afterwards, so don't feel like you madly need to take notes on the different screens and different views that I'm going to show you, as this is all going to be recorded, and I'll email it to you after the session so you can refresh yourself on some of the things that I'm talking through. So I Want a Ticket is the main ticket platform for all events now. So this I Want a Ticket website is fully integrated with our Tasting Australia website. So I Want a Ticket really is the ticket sales platform for your event. Many of you, or all of you, would have used Eventatron, which is the event registration website in your application process for Tasting Australia. Now that your event is live, I Want a Ticket really now is the main site and the main portal to access all of your event details. It's through this website that you can access and monitor your ticket sales. You can download your guest lists and download any guest list or event reports. You can also then check details of your guests, and this is the best way to contact them if you need to ahead of the event. It's also where you'll be able to see things like dietary requirements and seating requests, if this is something you have opened up to your attendees to capture. So you'll see here, you would have already been given a login to I Want a Ticket. If this is something you don't have or have lost, please feel free to contact me and I can resend you these login details. However, once you have logged into I Want a Ticket, you'll be seen with this summary page here. So this dashboard page provides a snapshot of all your key event details. So in this blue box here, it gives you a quick snapshot of the total dollar sales you've made and the total number of tickets sold. So that's across your whole event. This page also provides a breakdown of the number of tickets available or still left to sell and those tickets that you've sold. So this is especially useful if you have more than one ticket type. So if you're running a general admission ticket and you also have an added return bus option, for example, you can easily keep track of those. If you're running more than one session, you'll be able to access information for each session that you're running. And to do this, click here on the drop-down menu and you'll be able to change the date and select which session you would like to view. And this same screen will be viewable for each of those sessions. Okay, the dashboard view will give you, which I've highlighted here in yellow on the left. If you click on that, that will give you an overview of some statistics and demographics based on your ticket sales. As this event that I'm showing you today is in test mode and not currently on sale, this isn't populated with information, however yours will be. Keep in mind though, there's a couple of statistics here that aren't quite accurate. The way that I Want a Ticket is linked to the Tasting Australia website, things like the click-through rate and the page views, these two stats don't actually accurately reflect on this dashboard, simply because I Want a Ticket can't capture the page views and the click-through rate that people come, as people, sorry, I haven't explained that very well, as all guests come to your event page from the Tasting Australia website and then click through to purchase the ticket, I Want a Ticket can't capture all those details. So I wanted to make you aware of this page and the demographics and statistics that are here, but just to let you know that those, as I get some queries about it, aren't accurately reflected, simply because I Want a Ticket can't capture all the people that visit your page through the Tasting Australia website. But nonetheless, you might find this an interesting page to refer back to from time to time during the sales period. Okay, the orders tab on the left here provides a list of all orders in date order. So using the search tool here that I've highlighted in pink, if you have a particular order you need to search, so if a customer has contacted you directly about their order and you have their name and their email or something you can search for, you can do that by entering their details in that search bar there. To drill down into specific orders, you simply click on the name and you'll be brought up with a page that looks like this. So it has details about their name, obviously, their email, their phone. So the details you can see here on this first page is the payee details. So it's the person that's purchased the tickets. If you then click on the admissions tab, which is next to the payee details, it'll then give you a breakdown of the guests, the individual guest information. So if they've purchased tickets for 4 people, you'll see then the details for those 4 people. So I've just highlighted here in pink that payee equals the ticket buyer, admissions equals the individual guest information. If you then go over to the following tab called transactions, that provides an overview of their payment, and it will show the payment that they've made there. Other than that, you won't really need to delve too much into that transaction tab. It really is just a record of when their purchase was made. The notes section is also a really, sorry, I scrolled across too fast there. The notes section is a really useful tab, and it's where specific requests can be entered into. So for instance, if a guest contacts you with any specific dietary or seating requests, you can use that notes functionality to enter that into there. This is also a section that if anyone here in our Tasting Australia office receives any similar requests, we would always forward this to you as the event organiser. However, we may sometimes enter that detail into that notes section. I'll show you a little later in the presentation about how you can easily access this information that's captured in the notes. Now, it's a function you don't necessarily have to use, but again, I thought it would be handy to point out to you, as it's a nice, neat way to keep all that information together. And as I said, a little later, I'll show you how you can pull a report with all your guest details, and the notes that you make in this section will be included into that report. Yes, I think I've covered off most things there about reports. Okay, moving back along, so from that left panel down to the reports tab. So there's a huge range of reports, as you can see here, that you can available to download. My advice here probably is to feel free to kind of explore this yourself, as each individual person or event holder will find different reports useful for them. Have a look and explore to see what is most applicable to you. But I just thought it would be useful to point out 3 in particular that you might find valuable. The first here being the Orders tab, the orders report, apologies, and the summary sales report, and the guest list with notes. So I'll talk a little bit about that one by one. The orders tab here will provide you a summary of all the orders you've received over a certain time period. The summary sales report will give you a summary of your sales across all sessions. And the guest list with notes is really, I find, the go-to report. So if in the lead up to your event you're wanting to download a full list of your attendees, this is the report I would recommend you to download, as it will give you a full overview of all your guests attending the events, and it will also include all those handy notes that you've added in along the way if you have any. So you've got in one document a really nice summary of all your attendees, their contact information, and any particular dietary seating requests or any other notes you have to make about that person's booking, all in that one handy downloadable report. To download these reports, I've highlighted in yellow there, it's the download CSV button, which it downloads as an Excel spreadsheet, so you then can save that to your computer. Really handy to do as you're just rolling into event mode, and all those guest details have been finalised. So it's a really handy feature, that one.
Maddie, before you go on, we've got a question. If you add notes to a guest record, would they get a notification of this?
No. So that note functionality is hidden and private, so only you as the organiser and us here in the Tasting Australia team will have access to those notes. That's a really great question. I might just repeat that question in case anyone didn't hear. It was just asking whether the notes that we add to a guest, is that publicly visible? No, it's not.
Would they get a notification? I think is the context.
Oh no, and they won't get a notification that we've added in a note. That's just a private. It's a private message almost, really, that we can add for ourselves as event organisers, so they don't receive a notification that we've added a note.
Would they, as the event, if we added a note, something around someone's...
No. So when Tasting Australia adds a note, you as an event don't get an alert to say a note has been added. Sorry if I've misinterpreted the question there. That's where that guest list with notes function, that report function, probably is the easiest. As I probably touched on, us here in the office, we would always try and forward any requests that we get regarding dietaries or seating directly to you as the organiser via email, and probably would recommend that you as the organiser add in your own notes if you wish to use it. But as I said, we would always forward that to you. But that downloadable guest list with notes really ensures that you can capture all the details there and nothing's missed. So hopefully I've answered that question, but if not, please feel free and I can clarify with that at the end here. Another handy feature of this reports page is you can schedule reports to be emailed to you. Really handy if you have a couple of people in your organisation that would like updates on ticket sales or any other details about your event. So to do that, there is a email button to the right of the download CSV button. If you click on that email button, you can then enter in your email address and how frequently you would like this report to be emailed out, and you can add multiple email addresses into that. So yeah, it's great if there's multiple people in the organisation, you can automate those sales reports. So for something like that, you might wish to have that summary sales report emailed out once a week or once a fortnight, or daily if you're wanting daily reporting updates. So yeah, I really encourage you to head over to that tab and look through all those reports and just find which ones will work for you within your business and your organisation and what you'll find useful. But yeah, I've made a note and highlighted these particular three reports, as these are the three that I find most useful. But as I say, have an explore and see what will work for you and your business. But there's some great functionalities there. So yeah, really recommend the guest list with notes, the orders, the summary sales. To download, it's that yellow highlighted button, download CSV, and that email functionality, as I mentioned. Okay, something new in 2020, which we didn't quite get to roll out due to COVID, but something we're really encouraging all our event holders in 2021 is to look into the I Want a Ticket iPhone scanner app. So it's a free app that you can download from the Apple Store. Currently, this is only available to iPhones, not onto an Android phone. So if you do have a Apple phone, it's a fantastic app. So essentially, it's called the I Want a Ticket iPhone scanner app. You can download it, and you may like to use this as you're scanning guests into your event. So as an alternative to manually ticking off attendees using that downloadable report, you can use this functionality. Great if you've got a larger scale event and wanting to scan people in. We've been using, we used this particular app for the first time for the Santos Festival of Cycling. Worked really well. So highly recommend this app for any of our event holders that have probably a larger group that you want to check in. It's a fantastic app, and you scan, it's an app that you can open up onto your phone, and it allows you to scan the QR code on people's tickets. So people can either bring in their physical tickets, or they can bring up their tickets on their phone, and you can scan them in, and then it will mark them off automatically from your event page on I Want a Ticket. So yeah, really encourage any of you who have access to an iPhone or an iPad to look into this app, as it could make your life a lot easier when it comes to checking in guests on event day.
Another question there, Maddie. Is the venue check-in enough?
Is a venue check-in enough? This question is a venue check-in enough? And I'm wondering whether that might be in relation to COVID check-in. If that is, we'll touch on that in a minute when we go through our COVID safe information. At this stage, Paul will delve into that, but this ticket scanner app really is if you as an event holder would like to keep track of which attendees have arrived at an event. So if you've got a more small intimate dinner or lunch, you may not feel like this app is appropriate, as if you've got a small 20-person event, you might prefer to have a more personal approach of ticking someone's name off to say they've arrived, or you might be giving them something on arrival. So if you have a larger scale event, I think this would be really, really helpful and make your life a lot easier. But as I say, you can make the call as to whether you feel you want to use that. It can be used for any event. 5 people, 500, this app will work just as well. It's just really about what guest experience you'd like to have there. In terms of a COVID requirement, this scanner app is not a requirement. It's just for you as an event holder if you'd like to use that for your own records. And Paul will talk in a moment about COVID safe check-in requirements in more detail. So I've given you quite a bit of information there about I Want a Ticket and all its functionalities. So if you do need some more support, 2 things. Please visit the I Want a Ticket homepage, and if you scroll to the bottom of their homepage, there's a help button that will then take you into their support centre. That support centre is amazing. It's got access to so much information about all the different functionalities of I Want a Ticket. I've really used today just to give you a highlight and overview of some of the real key functionalities of I Want a Ticket. So if you do have any more specific questions, or you're wanting to know a little bit more about it, or you may want to use I Want a Ticket yourself for other events that you run, feel free to check out that support centre in the first instance. Otherwise, please feel free to contact me anytime. I'm more than happy to help you with any questions you may have about how to access or use any of I Want a Ticket's functionalities. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, and a new feature for 2021 Festival, is our waitlist functionality. As all of you know, we're all probably dealing with some tighter capacities due to COVID restrictions. So we're finding that this waitlist functionality is fantastic, as if your event has sold out, which is amazing, the waitlist functionality is a great way to capture people who are interested in your event, and if for whatever reason you are able to make more tickets available, you can then really easily contact them to let them know more tickets have become available. So just to talk you through a little bit about how this works, once your event is sold out, it will then be marked as sold out on both I Want a Ticket and the Tasting Australia website. Our page in our digital team who looks after our Tasting Australia website will then update the image on the website to say sold out. And I've popped an example up here of one of the events. So you can see she's added that banner in orange that says sold out, join our waitlist. Guests are then prompted to click on that waitlist, and then they enter in their contact name and their email address. So if you are running your event and you've noticed that your event has sold out, which is fantastic, we've popped this information, we popped this banner up here. And if you would like to then access the people who have joined the waitlist, please feel free to contact me, as we can then go out to those people to let them know that you've released more tickets for your event. So again, another really great feature that we've been using this year, and yeah, hopefully you might find this useful too. So yeah, just reiterating that it's automatically updated with this information, and if you are able to increase your capacity and it's currently sold out, feel free to let me know. We can then open ticket sales back up and go out to those people to say you've released more tickets, which is a fantastic thing. A few other things I wanted to touch on today. We are very thankful to our partners, our commercial partners at Tasting Australia. They really help make our festival possible. So I really wanted to just make you aware of two particular programs. One is the Experience SA program run by our presenting partner RAA. It's actually an initiative of RAA, and RAA Travel is the presenting partner, obviously, of Tasting Australia. So some more detail about this will be coming your way after today's webinar, so just wanted to make you aware of that. Experience SA is a program which promotes and sells accommodation and experiences across 12 regions of South Australia through a database and website. So I know for any of us that, any of you, sorry, that had registered for 2020's festival, you may well have been a part of this program, but for anyone new, just keep in mind that this will be coming your way shortly, and if it's a program you'd like to be involved with. The other one is for our new partner, the Fork. So for 2021, the Fork has come on board as a new partner, and they have some details and information that you may find interesting. And as that comes to hand, I will be sending that to you in the next couple of weeks. Just a reminder, also wanted to take the opportunity to remind you of the ATDW, the Australian Tourism Data Warehouse. Ashby has touched on this in the last couple of webinars, but just thought it would be a good opportunity to remind you of this as well. I also now have a really great quick guide reference on how to use ATDW that I will distribute after today's webinar along with the slides from today. So just to recap, here at the South Australian Tourism Commission, we also run southaustralia.com website. So if you would like your event that you're holding as part of Tasting Australia to be listed on southaustralia.com, you need to register your event through the ATDW, which is the Australian Tourism Data Warehouse. So there's a really great quick guide that we now have that I'll email to you on how to use that. So I really highly recommend registering your event to appear on the website, as it just really helps get some extra traffic to your event and get anyone who's planning a trip to South Australia to know about your event and know that it's on. Again, a lovely reminder to please share the love. We love seeing what you're posting on your socials, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. So please feel free to continue to use the hashtags. So I'll pop them up there as a reminder. So please do tag us in anything that you're posting, and we will do our best to reshare those where we can. But yeah, we love seeing what you're posting and what you're sharing in the lead up to the event. So please continue to do that as we run into the festival. So that's it from us here today. I really hope you've found these webinars useful. It's something we've started to do in 2021 for the first time. So I really hope you found the information over the past 3 weeks informative. We've certainly really enjoyed putting them together, and certainly something we'll continue to build on for future years. So yeah, would love any feedback about that. But again, if you have any other questions, I might stay on for another couple of minutes in case some questions come through. But if you have a question that comes to mind afterwards, please feel free to email me your question, and we'll do our best to help you. Again, this session has been recorded, so I'll email the slides out to you once they are ready. But if we don't have any other questions, we might leave it there. So thanks so much again for joining today. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and good luck for the rest of your event planning, and we'll talk with you soon. Thanks everyone. Bye.